Yo.
What up? What up?
Oof. What up, man?
Dude, what are we on? Episode 97?
97, bro. 97,
Let's
man.
go,
Let's
people.
go,
Let's
man.
go. We are quickly approaching episode 100, and we don't know what we're going to do.
Nope.
We've been trying to plan something special for 100, but
I'm going to surprise you.
don't be disappointed if it's just us two again.
Yeah, it might just be us two. I do got midget strippers on standby.
Haven't come through.
I'm waiting for the clearance.
That's code word, so you got to send the wife to a spa. Who are all these little people coming in here?
Yeah, yo, that would be wild, bro. We just get a little midget stripper, dance on the middle of the table while we do the pod. I don't think am I allowed to call her a midget?
No, man.
I don't think
little people.
I gotta say a little person.
Little person.
Isn't that more offensive?
I would think.
Because everybody little to me. You know what I mean? Like,
Damn, man, you ain't that big.
No, but I mean, anybody shorter than me, you know how anybody younger than you is automatically 12? Like, like anybody shorter than me, I'm like, you little. Like, you part of the little people. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, man, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Episode
We got some
100. Welcome back, everybody, to the Colin Footman Podcast. As always, he is Juan and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, and talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit him with the drink of the day.
Yo, Sean, that's 2 weeks in a row. Sean is coming through. We got a little something today we call it the Spiced Pirate. Hit him with a shot of Captain Morgan coconut, a shot of pineapple juice, squeeze a lime wedge in there, and then top it off with not just any ginger beer, but like this spice. It's like spicy
Q.
and bold. It's
Q's spiced ginger beer.
Spiced ginger beer, yeah. It's look for the purple can from Q. It is fire. That don't even sound like it goes together. It is refreshing as hell. It's good, bro.
Dude,
it's super good, man.
This weekend, so I had my in-laws come over, and I had the Malibu.
Okay.
Rum,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. As every weekend does.
Right. And so I had some pineapple juice, and then I didn't want it just that, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna top it off with Sprite, and that was okay. And I was running out of, like, I think I only had like 2 small cans of Sprite, so I was running out of it after a couple of drinks, and then but I had the ginger beer, and I was like, I wonder if the spice of the ginger beer would hit. So I put a little bit less pineapple juice, and then I topped it like probably an equal amount of pineapple juice and ginger beer. And that shit, man, I was like, that works. I'm doing that shit on Tuesday.
Good,
Let's
bro.
go.
It's super good, bro. This is hell. I wouldn't have even thought of that combo being good together, like coconut rum and ginger beer. That's
what my father-in-law told me. He's like, I don't know how you come up with this shit.
It don't even sound like it go together, but it sure do.
When I told him, I was like, here, man, I gotta like try this. It has ginger beer in it. I think that he was thinking that it was like beer.
Okay.
And I was like, no, man, it's like a tonic water. You know, it's like it's a mixer.
It's yeah.
So I was like, there's no alcohol in it, and you're fine. Like, it's in the soda aisle.
You'd have told me this in advance, I would have had a backup drink just in case. I'd have been like, ooh, I better get the recipe book out just in case. You said coconut rum and ginger beer. I'd be like, ooh, wait a minute. Let's make sure we got it.
I seen you looking at me.
You said you tried it, so I was like, all right, if you tried it, it's
I seen you looking at me with a side eye when I took out the ingredients.
I was like, this motherfucker had a stroke over the weekend. I was on board till I seen ginger beer. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, that don't even go together.
Dude.
I was wrong.
All right, man. What's your carbon footprint of the week?
Yo, my carbon footprint this week, bro, is I can't even. The governor of Oklahoma is
oh Lord.
Oh God, man. And you know how I feel about just these little ratchet ass states in general. But Kevin Stitt is the governor of Oklahoma, and he just signed a bill into law that makes performing an abortion illegal in the state, and the only exception is the case of a medical emergency. So no rape, no incest, nothing. You're essentially forced to have a baby in the state of Oklahoma if you get pregnant. And the fines are hefty, man, and it's jail time. It's like 10 years of jail time or $100,000 fines.
Yep.
So many places to go with this, man. You already know how I stand on the whole, like, why the fuck are we telling women what to do with their bodies? And leave religion or anything else out of it. Like, I feel like that shouldn't even be part of the conversation when you're talking about government bodies.
Yep. He actually came out publicly and said that he would sign any anti-abortion bill that crosses his desk.
Yeah, and that's insane to me. And the other part is, and we talked about this off air maybe recently, I'm like, yo, can someone grab the Republican Party by the neck and go, guys, if you guys just stayed the fuck out of abortion, stayed out of the gay marriage, anything social, just stay out of it. Or just go like, yeah, whatever the other side's doing, we're for that too. No one would vote Democrat ever again. Because at the end of the day, bro, I think a lot of the Republican parties from a tax perspective, a financial perspective, an economy perspective, we're all kind of on board with the shit they do. But then we're like, nah, bro, I got a friend of mine that might need an abortion one day. I got a friend of mine who wants to marry their partner who's gay, who's trans.
Right.
Like they make it so fucking hard for you to vote for them. And it's like, you guys do know that the shit that matters, like just stay out of the socials, the shit that matters, you guys got it on lock. Just like where's your base gonna go if you guys suddenly decide like, yeah, you know what, we're cool with abortion, yeah, we're cool with we would like your base isn't going anywhere. It's not like they're gonna go vote Democrat now. Like,
oh yeah, because they're diehard.
They're diehard. Like they don't care. Like I think it's been well established that if you're blue team or you're red team, you don't give a fuck, bro. It's just like whatever the blue team guy says or whatever the red team guy says, that's what people vote for. And like it just seems like such an obvious solution to me where I go, you guys will win every election from here on out, because I do think, I mean, this type of shit, and then the way the DeSantis bill has been sort of labeled.
Which one?
The don't say gay one here.
DeSantis is on a roll right now.
And I feel like the shit like this is the only thing that's going to keep these guys from sweeping these midterms coming up. Because I felt like the Republican Party was going to end up sweeping because people went like, all right, bro, we gave y'all a chance on the left and y'all ain't doing shit. Like, let's go back to the right. Like, but I feel like you do these little things where people are going to go, oh, okay, now, man, like I can't in good conscience now vote for somebody like that.
Right.
I also feel like it's always the guys who should have been aborted, bro, who come up with dumb shit like this. Yo, and if any state abortion should be mandatory, it's probably Oklahoma and Alabama. Like it's just like I don't know, man. Just looking at this guy and hearing him speak, I'm going, you're a fucking governor, bro. Like, must not be that hard in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I have stayed out of watching any videos of this guy. Just kind of seeing that that quote from him. And I hate to judge somebody on one quote, but the fact that he signed that bill. Yeah. And listen, I get it if those are like your religious beliefs. Like, I understand your position, but I also then I have to point, if that is your religious belief, I have to point to the separation of church and state.
Exactly, yeah.
So, like, while you may feel that way, that's great for you and your family, and feel free to abide by those beliefs, but don't force them on me or anybody else or any women that you know. Yeah. Like or don't know in this case. Yeah,
people fled to this country and massacred the people who were already here in search of religious freedom, right? Or like just the ability to be able to sort of practice whatever you wanted, personally, and just keep it out of government. Like, it's just...
Yeah, dude, I don't know. And then they followed suit with Texas did that. We had it talked about it on this show several months ago. Texas has a similar bill where they're sort of charging people who are having abortions with murder, which is like you can get charged with murder.
Crazy to me, man.
It's nuts, dude. So I gotta go. I'm gonna go the opposite way. Oh, go.
Okay. No, that's I say, and please. Before we switch over, I also want to say, man, I feel like if you're in a government position and you're making decisions like this, I would almost respect it more than if you offered a counter bill to say, but for you keeping the baby, we're gonna support it. Like you're forcing me to keep something, whether because these kids end up, who knows what kind of home they grow up into, right? Or they end up in foster care or with a drug addict parent or whatever it is, man. It's like, okay, then are you responsible then? Like, I'll have it, but are you then financially responsible for this child for the rest of its life? Because I'm trying to avoid a scenario like, what happens if it's some people choose to abort a kid if it's going to be born with certain conditions that are going to affect its quality of life. Like, you're taking that off the table for me. Like, it just seems, then it's like, okay, cool, then this should be your burden too. Like, it's, and I hate to call a kid a burden, but that's what the fuck it is if you wanted to abort it in the first place, right? Like, so I feel like I'd respect it more.
It's a burden when you don't want to abort it. Depending on what kind of day you have.
Yeah, on the right day, you not wrong. So yeah, man, I would almost even respect it more if, like, put your money where your mouth is then. If you're pro-life and you're pro this, then be pro-life when these people are having a hard time at life. Right. Like they just keep the same energy.
Yeah, like I said, put some programs in place.
Yeah, put some programs in place and go like, if you wanted to abort it, yada yada. Okay, cool. We're gonna support you forever, and maybe we're saying through welfare or whatever else. But like these kids end up in systems and things like that, or end up in broken homes, or again, drunk.
Which is the worst, right? Where you end up with I think what is it? I don't know if it's is it Netflix? I don't know. One of these providers, content providers have. There's like a trial for a kid who essentially was killed by his parents, but the guy was like,
he's abusing this shit.
They abuse him like crazy. Right? It's Netflix.
Yeah, the little Spanish kid, man.
Yes,
yep,
bro. I watched the first episode, and like my youngest son wanted to watch it, and then we finished the first episode, and he wanted to put the next one on, and I was like, dude, like I can't, like not that I don't want to watch it because I want to see what occurs, but. Yo, like I wanted to reach to the TV and fucking strangle these.
I couldn't.
People,
I watched like minutes of it. I couldn't like snippets. I couldn't get through it. Dude, when I was a kid, and I don't know why I read this, but I read a book and it was called A Child Called It. And it's a book written from the point of view of the kid that's being abused.
Okay.
And he ends up writing, it's like sequels, I guess, if you will, like second parts of his book and all that. But he basically writes a memoir of his time spent in an abusive home. Dude, that book profoundly impacted me and like my thought on like children being abused and all that. So like I had that same thing. Like I can't see it. I can't like it just. It like shakes me to my core, man, that people are that cruel to like fucking kids or old people, man. Like I can't
it is the trials of Gabriel Fernandez.
That's what it is.
That is the one. And this kid, just for, I mean, I don't want to say I recommend watching it, but essentially this kid was just abused to the point that when he got to the hospital, it was like anything from like broken skull to cigarette and cigar burns on him. To you could tell he was tied up with ropes because of the marks on his feet, and like what and the kid was like 8, right?
and then I think the point of the documentary is how broken the system was because of how it was reported and how people knew but they couldn't get anything done over like such a, and ultimately wound up dying.
They actually put the people, like the social workers that had reported the case or had written up the case on trial. So watching that. So again, going back to abortion, it's just like you end up bringing a child or forcing someone to bring a child into this world, and then you're hands off, and then you go, oh, like how did this happen? Yeah. Let me tell you something. My kids are and yours as well is blessed enough to be brought up in a home with like a caring mother and father. But I know as a parent, going through those sort of trials and tribulations, I'll call them, of raising young kids, and I had twins first, right? So it's sort of double hard. Like that shit, I can't imagine what it's like for a single parent who doesn't have enough money, who doesn't have any help, who has to work several jobs and then comes home and then has a crying kid all night long, and then they still have to go to work. And bro, I cannot imagine what that's like. So you have to allow the adult to make that decision, to the best decision for themselves, because you're just gonna push this kid that has really like no business being here into a situation possibly that could be detrimental to him and to the parent.
Yeah, man. So if you're going to be pro-life, man, keep the same energy across the board.
Yep.
Like be pro-life in life, be pro-life in womb, be whatever you want to do, man, but you just keep that same energy, man, when that kid turns out to be, again, kids with junkie parents, or he's gay, or he's whatever, like in Oklahoma, like, that same kid probably can't get married or whatever. I know federally you can now, but there was a point in time where they would have been like, I can't abort you because you have rights, but also you're not going to be allowed to marry who you want and all that stuff. Like it's just the whole pro-life, like hiding behind that is just garbage, man. It's trash.
And there will never be a statistic that'll show the number of people who would have had, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to follow that kid and then be able to prove that, hey,
it works out. Yeah.
Right. It works out or not.
Or not. Right. And that's the problem with that is some people will say like, oh, my parents thought about aborting me and look how I turned out. It's like, cool. But for every one of you, there's X amount of the other side too. And like you said, it's all hypotheticals and we're never going to be able to prove that out.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So with that, bro, my carbon footprint is going out to the company Yelp. You guys know them by, Yelp.com. I think they do like reviews on stuff, right? For the Yelp employees and any of their dependents that want abortions, if you live in the U.S. and you live in a state where it don't allow it, they will pay for you to go to another state to have the abortion.
Oh, shout out to Yelp, man.
So shout out to Yelp. And like they were saying, like, it allows the U.S. employees and dependents to have equitable access to reproductive care. And dude, like, we're talking about like in this day and age of like the gender and the sex equality. Like, how can you have that if you're taking away like women's rights?
Yeah, and it would never work the other way around.
No,
ever. Like, we would never let a woman make a decision about her body.
Right. And let's start enforcing vasectomies.
Yeah, it would never happen. I'd almost be more pro that. Like, yo, once you got like 10 kids on child support or something, I feel like that shit should be mandatory. Or you're a pro athlete. Once you make it in the draft, I feel like as part of the pre-draft thing, this should be like, you gotta get a vasectomy. But you're right. It would never happen.
It would never happen.
It would never happen. We would never let that happen. Like,
yeah. As men,
we would never. We'd be like, yeah, that's cute. Sit down. Yep. We'd be like, it's not gonna happen. Now go have that baby. Like, we would never let that happen. Bro.
Yep. Go have that baby. And I'm not supporting it.
And so we shouldn't do it to women on the flip side, man. It's crazy.
It's freaking nuts, dude.
Go. That's dope for Yelp, man, to do that. And there, I think Uber was doing in Texas where they were actually like giving people rides for free if you were on your way to get an abort. And then like, I think in the face of like the whole government, the whole
Texas thing.
And they were, So
I think Salesforce did something as well. Yelp also, they double matched employee donations to organizations that are fighting against abortion laws in several states.
That's dope, man.
So definitely shout out to Yelp on that.
Yeah, man. And I always like from those things, I try to keep like personal feelings out of it in terms of what I think is right or wrong. I just think common sense tells us like it shouldn't be our call. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like common sense tells me that I should never be allowed to make a decision. Now, you want to have a conversation about should the dad or whatever have a say, or the guy who got you pregnant or whatever. Like, I don't even know where I stand on it, but I'm like, if you want to have that conversation, like between those two people, like, sure, they should have that, but I don't think the government should ever interfere with that, regardless of why you're doing it. Like, if you want to put a limit on when you can do it, okay.
Well, they did. It's 6 weeks,
but yeah,
and you don't typically even know you're fucking pregnant.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like it's not reasonable, right? It's like it's a limit, but it's like they know it's almost impossible to reach that. Like, it's just like it's called morning after pill, bro.
I was just gonna say, bro. I wonder, is that legal in that state?
That's a good question. I don't know, because you technically morning after you do have to take it like pretty quickly. Like, I think morning. I think that it's in the name.
So then based on this the whole 6 week thing, that pill is probably legal there, I would imagine.
Yeah. I guess if you're gonna go by that logic, but I don't know if it works. I don't know. It's like, cause the point isn't. I think morning after it doesn't abort it. It just never lets you get pregnant in the first place. So I don't think that it works. I could be wrong, man. I'd have to look that up. I
would imagine, like, right, like if you have sex, like, you're getting pregnant soon thereafter. Like, it doesn't take a day.
And that's why. I think that's why you have to take it, because it doesn't allow it then to like completely fertilize and start to grow. Like, I don't think it once it gets to the point where there's like a full blown embryo. I don't think. I would have to look that up, man. I'm just completely guessing here. I don't know. Complete shot of dark, but
stay out of their fucking business.
Yeah, just mind your business, bro. If you're a guy and you get to make laws, bro, it's like,
let me tell you about a woman in Florida.
Oh boy,
who got her shit together.
She got it. Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
So, you ever had jury duty?
I have recently for the first time ever.
Okay. So this woman got called for jury duty, and she was a potential juror in that Parkland shooting trial.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was a high-profile case.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago, right? The shooting happened.
But now is like the trial.
He still hasn't the trial. I guess not. Wow. Okay.
It's going to be a 6-month commitment.
Oof.
Right. So she was like, I gotta get out of this. She goes to the judge, and they've got it on on camera. Oh, by the way, the guy that they're trying killed 17 people and then like injured 17 others.
Yeah, why do we have a 6-month trial for that? Seems pretty obvious.
Fucking retards. So she told the judge, "Listen, judge, I got a husband and a sugar daddy, and I see my sugar daddy every day, and my sugar daddy pays me $8,000 a month, and if I go on trial, y'all not gonna match that money, so I can't serve."
She not wrong. I respect the hustle.
You should have seen the judge's look. The judge is taking a drink of water or something, man, and she's just like, she gets that look on her face like, what? Did you just say that?
Yo. The judge's like, bitch, you making my money. You making my kind of money to do what?
She talked about that. She was like, oh, and then in July, it's my birthday, and it's my 2 sons' birthday, so like, I'm going to be busy.
It's so funny.
The best part about it, she got off, bro.
She got off? Well, you don't want someone that unstable.
I would imagine.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Right? That's the lawyers going like, no, she's out.
Yeah, she's kooky enough to bring that up in front of the court of law. Good for her, bro. Good for her.
So there you go, man. Take notes.
What's her name? I
did not take down her name.
Yo, you know what sucks is there isn't really like a female version of sugar daddy, right? I mean, I know people like play on it, but women aren't as...
Isn't there sugar mama?
There is, but I'm saying like it isn't as prevalent.
Right.
You know, like, bro, we live in the capital of sugar daddy-um. Like those websites, the sugar daddy websites, the most enrollments are in Central Florida or in Orlando.
Yeah?
Yeah. And like the most chicks enrolled too are out of like UCF here and all that stuff.
They enroll.
Yeah. Registered, whatever you want to call it.
After college, enroll in this.
Bro, there's so many of them here.
Yeah.
So, dude, it's literally, I think we're the number one on those sugar. I forget the name of the sugar daddy website, but anyway. Sugar baby, it might be sugarbabies.com, some shit. Anyway, so it's very prevalent here, man. So the fact that this is so Parkland, this is like Hollywood, right? This is
I don't know where that is.
Like actually. it's South Florida, right? So it's near Fort Lauderdale.
You're probably right.
Yeah, so I'd imagine they got quite the sugar baby, sugar daddy crowd down there as well.
Well, I mean, you got all the retirees, right?
Yeah. Yo, how do we feel about this, bro? If you were an older man, I guess in a position to have to pay, would you pay for a company from a younger chick like $8,000 a month?
I mean, there's obviously levels to this shit, right? So
yeah.
If $8,000, I guess everything would depend on what is your financial standing.
Yeah, sure, but just the principle of it all.
I would imagine that there's something to the fact that you can go, I'm gonna pay for your time while you're here, but then I get to send you home.
Yeah, you paying her to leave, bro.
Right. So you pay for the time. You pay for the company, and then it's just like, okay, like, go ahead.
How great is that, bro? And the minute she starts talking about her day, you're like, nope, time to go.
How long were you here? That's only $50.
The minute she says, you would not believe it, I'm going to need you to see yourself. That's not why you are employed here. Do not collect. Do not pass go. Do not collect
200.
That's so wild, bro. Yo, shout out to this lady, bro. Sugar, oh my god, bro. I'm glad she got out. Yo, I did the jury thing recently for the first time ever, and the judge went down this whole explanation. You know how they're telling you like, oh, the trial's like this, da 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 da. Bro, he wastes our time, and he was a good judge, man. Like the way he was explaining everything, I was like, oh, this is a cool dude. The guy had a sense of humor, and the guy was on trial for skipping his check-in for I guess he was a convicted sex offender, but it was like sex with a minor. But when the judge is telling us like the trial is for him failure to check in, right? That's all we're supposed to be judging on. That's all it is. And the judge goes, yep, the trial here is for a failure to check in, blah blah blah, and then he goes, for aggravated assault on a minor. Like in the minute he says that, all of us look at each other and go, look, this guy's guilty, fuck him. and so, bro, basically the dude's lawyers were like, yo, what the fuck? Like walked up.
Yeah, like you're supposed to say that.
You're not supposed to say that.
Right.
Like what he did before was irrelevant. And you basically just cost him a chance at a free trial. They had to kick us all out, bro. They had to take us all out, sent us home, and had to bring in a whole new group, and he had to redo the whole thing.
Wow.
It was
man.
hilarious, bro. I'm sitting there dying, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's so
rightfully
right, bro.
so, rightfully
yeah,
so.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the guy gets whatever you think of him, right? Like he gets his shot at a free trial, which is whatever. But
Right,
I
you figure
think-
he already went. Right, he's already been tried for that.
Yeah. Oh, it was like he even told us the year. Like it had been 30 years removed or 25 years. Like the guy was probably your age. Based on the amount of time he said, the guy was probably 18, 19. And then I think whatever it was like aggravated sexual battery on a minor, like under 12 or some shit like that. And you're just like, the fuck this guy, like immediately, like even I went guilty. I don't even need to hear the trial, bro. Just give me the thing. It's like, but it had nothing to do with that, right? It was like, did he or did he not check in? Which I go, why do you need a trial? Like to tell me whether or not he checked.
My God,
but anyway,
bro.
yeah, that shit was wild.
Yeah, that's funny. Like, why would he go to trial for that? Right? You either you checked in or you didn't.
Checked in, or you didn't. So my guess is that he's fighting it for some reason, and then maybe a COVID or whatever. Like he's like, nah,
right.
I don't know.
Maybe he had some kind of hardship.
Maybe, yeah.
Or, right.
So he just didn't show. So I was like, all right, man. So, but yeah, it was just so funny because the guy goes through the whole thing, and the minute he says that, all of us look. Dude, there's like 50 of us in that room, and we all look at each other. Probably more. It might be 100 of us, and we're like, yeah, fuck this guy. and the dude's lawyer, like, it lets it go. And the dude's lawyer, you could tell it took a minute for it to marinate, and then he goes, excuse me, I need to see you at the bench. It's like watching SVU, bro. It's like he goes up and then they have their little powwow. Bro, the hilarious part is like it's a quiet ass courtroom. You can hear everything, right? I didn't notice they play static noise. He started playing static noise so that they can like sort of whisper and we can't hear.
Yep.
And then they like turn off the static noise and come back and it's like, yeah, so I wasn't supposed to tell y'all that. Just like, bro, okay.
Yeah, not for nothing. So when you heard that, right, and it says, sexual battery on minor 12 or under, right, or whatever that is. What is the, and I know that we're sort of programmed to, if you are a minor, then it's wrong, right? What if the girl or guy, whatever it is, 17, and we know we typically go with the women, right? But if she's 17, are you feeling the same way as the 12?
Oh, no. It changes, and I think the charge is different.
It is, but what is it? It's still...
Yeah, because I think under a certain age becomes the aggravated whatever one. Because I think when because I remember I
but
just
it's
asked
still
somebody
illegal.
there. Because aggravated didn't mean it wasn't violent or forceful, whatever. I think the way it tacked on the aggravated was the fact that they were so young, and so now you're considered
So you
sort of
kinda force
predatory, whatever.
yourself
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it changes everybody's
what point
perspective
is
if you're
it-
like 18 or 17. Because
What
also,
if, what if you're 16? I'm trying to get from you is like, what is the breaking point? And it's probably different for everybody.
Yeah, it is, bro, because it's even different legally, right? Like there's certain countries where the age of consent is like 14, 15, 16. Like we can't even agree.
But what's it here? It's got to be 18.
It's 18 here, yeah. And I think it varies even here by state, right? Like isn't it here by state? You can get married at like 16 here with like consent from your parents. I'm pretty sure in certain states here you still can, like probably Alabama and Oklahoma.
I don't, why I
Can't get an abortion, but I could get married. Like we can't even agree on that. I do, yeah. Like to your point, there is definitely a difference to me between a 12-year-old and a 17-year-old.
Yeah, but like, but so is it? So what about is 15?
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I'm
the
saying?
hard part for
What
me is
is
as
the
a
breaking
dad.
point? Yeah, because your girls are approaching that shit.
Yeah, as a dad and with a daughter that age, I would fucking murder you if you're. I think if you were 18, like, and my daughter was a few months removed from 18, and she was 17 or something,
You'd get it.
I'd get it.
All right, what if the guy's 18 and she's 15?
Yeah, I'm not letting that go.
Now think about it. A few months, or maybe even now, that kid, they could both be in high school together.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, they could be a senior. He could be a senior, and she could be sophomore. I guess. Yeah, right. Freshman.
Yeah, freshman or sophomore. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that's
like,
tough because it's a
tough,
peer.
man.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, but for me,
And then no one cares.
you can't bring that motherfucker home, bro.
But right, but
bro.
but like no one cares if he's 25 and she's 22.
No, I think we care because of the innocence, right, and the adolescence. Right, at 22, you're not innocent anymore, right? But at 15, you can be.
But at 22, you're still a kid, bro.
You are, but I'm saying you're at 22. We've deemed you old enough to do everything.
Yes.
Yeah. So like we've said, you could drink, you could you could rent a car, you could do everything. Like you're a grown up, right? And I think women mature faster. Like technically, as a guy, we're still stupid as fuck till we're like 25. So, like, do you take that into account?
Make it 35.
Yo, that shit. You're not wrong. But, bro, I remember hearing that all the time, and this shit is so true, bro. There are things that I did pre-25 that at the time I thought were a fantastic
great idea.
Yeah, and I think about it now, and I'm like, what was wrong with me, bro?
You just thought you were invincible, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, bro. Pre-25, man, I thought I was, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, there's nothing. And everything was a great idea. Yeah, all the stupid ones, bro. Like, I think about the shit I did, and I'm like, yeah, that's why my insurance is so much more than... Because so stupid, man.
All right, what's the shit you got on Jada, man?
Yo, fuck Jada, bro. Yo, I got... Yeah, you know what?
That's a great segue.
I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you, bro. I've been... So, these little clips have come out since the whole Will Smith Jada thing or whatever, and we already know their relationship is kind of fucked, bro. Anybody who brings you on a TV show to tell you that they was fucking some other dude, like, for everybody to hear, don't give a fuck about your feelings, bro. Like... And maybe he agreed to that. It clearly was, but he never looked comfortable doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say he didn't look comfortable, but he was clearly agitated.
Yeah, but which means you won't want to do it. Like, he probably did it like, it's my wife, whatever. It's gonna get ratings. She needs a prop because ain't nobody watching nothing Jada does. So, like, unless it involves Will, right? So you go, okay, cool. And then there's been these videos that come out, and one this week, man, that stood out to me where she's sort of pushing someone. I think the person's a marriage counselor going on her show, Red Table Talk, a few years back. And she goes on IG Live and starts talking about it and then basically puts him on the spot. And he's like, yo, man, like, you recording me kind of like in my own home, like without giving me a heads up, like,
right, like prep me for this.
Yeah, first. And then her response is like super, just like dismissive of his shit.
She doesn't stop recording either.
Nope, she keeps recording, and she goes, "You see the foolishness I got to deal with, like talking to the therapist kind of thing and all that, bro." And I just started thinking, I went, bro, there's a certain level, and this goes for male and females. There's a certain level of hot. There's a certain level of successful. There's a certain level of all that you have to be. And dependent on that level, we are willing to put up with more shit, right? Like, so the hotter you are, the crazier you're allowed to be, right? The richer you are as a guy, because I don't even think it's the same. I don't even think it's the same as a guy. I think as a guy, you can be hot, but if you're crazy, you're not getting away with it. I think you can be rich and crazy, and you'll get away with it as a guy. Like the bars are different.
You can be rich and ugly.
As a guy, as a guy, you can be hideous as long as you've got money. You're okay, right? Like it's the new form of sort of security, right? And women sort of tend to find security attractive. Anyway, I'm looking at that and I'm going, you're Will fucking Smith, bro. Like, and I'm like, who is Jada like, you are out of pocket, Jada. You are not hot enough to treat Will like that. No fucking way. You are not successful enough to treat Will like that. No fucking way. I'm like, Will Smith could probably have anybody he wants. I mean, and that includes, like, if he wants to go have thoughts, he can have thoughts. I'm sure if he wants to have like a successful sort of well-established career woman, he can have that. Like, the fact that he's putting up with nonsense like this from someone he clearly doesn't want to be with is wild to me. And Jada, maybe Jada doesn't want to be with him either, but sucks it up for whatever reason too. Yeah. And so the fact that she's getting away with crazy shit like that, I'm like, you ungrateful bitch, bro. How the audacity, bro. The audacity for someone like her. I go, yo, you're not on the same scale as Will Smith.
Well, dude, there's rumors, man, that Will might be gay.
Let him, bro. He is better off with anybody, bro.
But so if and I'm not saying that he is, right? So, but if he is hiding something, and then she's like almost like the key to that secret. Right, like she's the one that kind of knows and is not gonna allow that to come out because, like I said, he's said that he's been playing this character for his whole life.
Yeah,
and so I'm not saying that he's gay, but if there's, let's just say if it's gay or if it's something else that he's trying to hide, and she's kind of the key to it not getting out,
the vulnerability of all that. This is the most opportune time for him to dip out, though.
But are you? So if you're him, are you going, this is what I have to put up with to sort of keep my persona?
I think so, but I think the other part of him has to realize, and his son is a prime example of this, is that nobody gives a fuck anymore. Like, I think if that's the case, if he came out now, or if he just said, yo, I'm leaving Jada, like going through a lot of shit, blah, 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 blah. I think it would be his way back into being endearing to us. Because we're going to be like, damn, yo, yeah, like I'm like the dude was going through shit. Like,
right.
Yeah, we get it. I think even Chris Rock would get it. Like, I think that's almost his way back into like people saving grace. If he just like, I know he checked himself into rehab, which.
Really?
Whatever. Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
For what?
Stress. So
you can have rehab for stress,
guess so,
bro?
Man. I guess you can, bro.
You can rehab your way out of stress?
If you're rich, bro, you can rehab out of everything, bro.
I don't think it's called rehab. I'll just call it fucking counseling.
It's called the rehab center. I don't know. He checked himself into one of the high-end rehab centers. Like, he lives there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro. So, like, he did that, which I think that's just key for celebrities going, like, I'm gonna go take care of myself. I'm going to go take care of myself and try to get back into, like, the public eye. Yep. Sooner rather than later. And I gotta say, it's like Tiger, like, I had a sex addiction. It's like, don't we all?
And like, we know Tiger.
Yeah, like the only thing I was disappointed in about Tiger was some of the pictures of the chicks you saw. I'm like, Perkins Tiger, really? Like, come on, man. Like, everything else, you're like, oh yeah, it adds up. That's like the go-to thing. Like, yeah, I need therapy. That's a problem. Like, it's only a problem when you get caught. Like, it's not a problem.
Fuck, man, I didn't know you could do rehab for stress.
Yeah, man. So I feel like Will needs to leave Jada now just to get back. Like, we're all hating on Will right now, and I feel like the way we start to sort of then empathize for him is if he goes through this shit. And then like the more like I watch all this shit come out, the more infuriated I get, because I'm like, yo, you are not hot enough, like successful enough, like cool enough. Like, there's nothing. Like, you better be.
She's not A-list.
No, bro. Where's the last thing you saw that Jada Pinkett was in on purpose? Like, because she was in it.
The last thing I remember was is it Girls Trip?
Yeah, but you didn't watch it because Jada was in it?
No.
Yeah, you watched it because, I heard it was funny. And, funny, like Tiffany Haddish and like whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. So only reason any of us watched that movie, I go, I'm not giving her credit for The Matrix. I'm not giving her credit for Set It Off. Like, that was probably the last time she made a dope movie.
You know what's funny, man? Those are the exact two movies that I can remember. And
yeah, that's it,
Other than that, I don't
nobody give a fuck about Jada, bro. I would argue that the only reason she has stayed relevant is because she's married to Will Smith.
No, she's
Nutty Professor, bro.
Dude, and she's in it's not Boys in the Hood. It's what's the other one?
Oh, yeah.
From back in the day.
Fuck. I know what you're talking about.
Fuck. What's the name of that movie?
It's not Belly. Fuck.
No, it's not Belly.
No, I know. Yeah, I know. I have it at the tip of my tongue. But yeah, it's not, bro. There's no fucking way that like Jada is only relevant now because she's married to Will Smith. Like, that's her only like I guess if you ask anyone born past 2000, that's the only thing Jada's known for, right? Is like, oh, that's a chick married to Will Smith. Like, nobody really knows her from acting. So the idea, bro, that you would be this fucking like arrogant. And it's just infuriating. Like, you better be a mix of Superhead and Riley Reid. If you get in his cocky, bro, I'm telling you,
I don't even know what that is.
Superhead or Riley Reid? Neither. Don't Google it on your thing.
I'm afraid to Google it.
Superhead got a whole book. A whole book, bro. Just read the book. Shit is crazy. But
listen, man, if Will Smith comes out of that rehab and he never does movies again, I got a job for him.
Would you?
This is a German guy that was selling vaccination cards. But this is the best part. He was 87 years old. And the way that he was getting the vaccinations or the vaccination cards was he was getting vaccinated every time.
Over and over and
over and over, getting vaccinations, getting booster shots. Dude, they said that he had approximately 90 doses, and it was mixed. Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. He didn't give a fuck. He was getting that money.
Yo,
at 87.
Who cares? What are you living for? Yo, honestly, bro, if I'm those companies, I hire him. I'd be like, this, all you anti-vaxxers, this motherfucker got all of it 100 times. Yep.
And never got COVID.
He 87, he's still alive.
Yeah, I wonder if he ever got COVID. That would be
yo, imagine if he got COVID. Yeah, oh my God, bro. Like, now. Imagine he got COVID like
he got arrested, he goes to jail, and he gets COVID.
He got he like, I must need 101. Wow, bro.
They said approximately 90 doses.
It also just goes to show how bullshit our tracking thing is, because the fact that nobody said like, hey, bro, like, you got this already.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about your vaccine card. I'm sure we talked about this. It's literally a piece of paper.
Yeah,
Like,
and they wrote on it.
Yeah, they wrote on it. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like a barcode. There's not a scan. There's nothing, bro.
Nope.
Mine is literally a piece of paper, and they wrote on it. And then they put a sticker on it. And I think, in fact, I might have forgotten it my second time, and the dude just made me one. Like,
Yeah?
it's so ghetto, bro. I'm like, we ain't got no barcodes, nothing. Like, it just goes to show how much bullshit it. And it also like friggin' disappeared the minute we got into war, and then Will smacked the COVID out of society, bro. The minute Will smacked, and then Putin started invading Ukraine, we don't even talk about COVID no more, bro.
Yeah, so there is another variant out right now. So it's like
Allegedly,
like a sub variant of the Omicron.
Yeah, but isn't there one every year and has been
Well, there's
like the beginning of time?
Well, I mean, it's gonna do what a virus does, right? It's gonna be other strands, but it's like I guess this sub variant is kind of catching on places. I'm just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah,
man.
COVID-22,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck, like just
Yeah, call it whatever you want.
yeah, get it on and popping, bro.
Doesn't matter.
Yo, man, what before I move on from the Putin thing real quick, yo, can we? Besides, I know we talked about how stupid this whole invasion is. Yo, does Russia look real bitch right now, bro? You can't finish off Ukraine. Like, yo, think about the things that Russia is known for. Like, their military prowess is like something that they take so much pride in, right? And they have this large military, and they invest so much money, and they do all this shit, and they're getting smoked by like New Jersey. Like, bro, like, you can't take over a country the size of Ukraine, and you're supposedly this like superpower, bro. I wonder if the rest of the world is looking at this, including the U.S., and going,
y'all ain't so
y'all
bad.
ain't so bad, bro. Y'all not scary no more. Like, the only thing that becomes scary is the whole nukes. But even then, I'm going, yo, y'all tanks are like getting flats. Like, how the fuck? Your nukes might explode on sight. Like, they might not even make it out, bro. Like, but I was thinking about that shit the other day. I go, yo, not only was this a mistake for him, obviously just on the world stage, but like, just invading Ukraine, but I think it also makes him look really weak, bro. He's like firing generals left and right because it's going so bad. Dude, he's fired over 150 like top ranked military officials. Dude, they've killed, and I don't know what to believe, but it's something in the nature of like 5 to 7 like leading generals, and there's all these military experts who are like, yo, these guys shouldn't even be in the battlefield. So the fact that they're out in the open getting killed is like, it's almost amateurish, but it just goes to show how bad it's going, that these guys are sort of out there, and then they're easily being tracked down. And it's like the whole thing, bro. It's like it's like a parody war movie, bro. It's so like bizarre.
Yeah, dude. And I think, but he's about to launch another offensive, man. So there's a lot of people dying over there, bro, and obviously a lot of people fleeing. I know we have people coming here to this country, for asylum. Man, I feel bad for those folks, man, and I hope this shit ends soon. But yeah, you would think that Russia would be able to just to kind of like go in there and bulldoze.
It's like a week and just murk, because they're so. I think you think Russians, right, and you think this like military sort of superpower, and because of the history there, it's a facade, bro. It's the bark, but it didn't match. The bite didn't match, bro.
But you know what, man? People probably said the same thing about the U.S. when we went into Vietnam.
Yeah, but I would say that's then, but I don't think we're saying that. Or maybe they did say that we went into like Iraq or Afghanistan.
All right,
but I also think if we decided to take over those countries, it'd be light work. Like, I don't think we're sitting here struggling to take over Fallujah. Like, we did that shit on the ground in like 2 weeks. with literally boots on the ground. You know what I mean? Like, the boys don't play, bro. The boys here don't play. Like, just watching this whole shit with him, I'm like,
that's one thing we haven't. I mean, we haven't tried to, like, to your point, we haven't tried to go and take over.
Yeah, like, if we wanted to invade Canada, bro, that shit would take 6 hours. Like,
shout out to Canada.
Yeah.
we love y'all.
We'd be like, y'all just move further north. We're taking everything back.
Moving to the part where no one lives.
Yeah, and y'all can have that. We won't bother you up there. They would just move. Like, yeah, man. I just couldn't help but like look at that shit and go, how embarrassing. I also think this ends, bro, with him being removed. That's what's gonna have to happen.
Yeah,
I think the powerful people in Russia, who are the people who've made him powerful and rich, like he's fucking with everybody's bag now. I think these guys, either they have him assassinated or they, have a coup or whatever, but they're going to go, yo, man, they're the only way that Russia has a future on the world stage as far as economics goes, you have to take him out. Like, then we'll go, all right, cool, man, we'll let you guys back in because this guy's out. Like, so if you're them, you have to be talking amongst yourself like, yo, man, like, this guy's lost his shit. He had a good run. Like, maybe it's time to, like, either, hey, bro, bow out gracefully, or, like, because I've heard that he's, like, super paranoid of getting assassinated and stuff, too.
Oh,
like,
really?
a lot of weird shit he does with his food and yada yada. Like, and then even getting COVID. I think he has some medical conditions. But you ever see pictures of him eating dinner? He's like 20 feet away from the next person, like one of those long tables. It looks like
yep.
But anyway, so like, yeah, dude, I think that's the only good outcome of this. If you're Russia, you almost have to go like, we gotta get this guy out of here, bro. Like, we have to. We look weak as fuck, and like he's not letting up because he's too far gone now. Yeah. So like, yeah, it's wild shit, man.
Well, getting assassinated is one way to die. I seen this kid in Mexico, bro. This teen. This dude died from a stroke. But what caused the stroke is gonna trip you out.
Well, don't tell me.
Dude got a hickey.
What?
Yeah, bro. Like, you know, the suck on your neck type shit.
Yeah.
He got a hickey from his girlfriend.
Because the hickey is essentially a pooling of blood, right? Yeah.
So it's basically the hickey resulted in a blood clot that traveled from his brain or traveled to his brain and caused a stroke.
Wow. And it killed him?
Killed him.
How
bro.
old?
I don't know, but it's a teenager.
Hey, fuck, dude. That's crazy. Yo, are you happy? Is that the way to go out if you're that kid, bro?
No, fuck no, man.
I don't know, bro, but
he probably didn't get none.
Nah, but I'm going to tell this kid right now, bro, it doesn't get better than that. It's only downhill from here, bro.
The hickey's the highlight.
Yeah, the hickey's the highlight, bro. At best case scenario, fast forward 10 years, you're arguing about what to order for dinner.
With two screaming kids in the back.
Yeah. This kid went out at the pinnacle of life, bro. You're still excited. You're enamored with the whole kiss of it. You're like, you know, to you that's like the, oh my god, that's amazing, blah blah. It's only downhill from there, bro.
unless he had another girlfriend, and then he was trying to hide it. Use the comb.
Ooh. Yeah, bro. I feel like aside from getting laid shortly thereafter, or like if that was part of the lay,
right?
He won, bro.
Damn it! Now I envy that kid.
In retrospect, bro, everything goes down from there, bro.
Why you had to bring that up?
At that moment in time, bro, you are feeling like you're on top of the world, bro. That's the best feeling. You like 14, 15, bro. You getting necked. Shout out to this kid, bro.
Shout out to this kid. Talk to me about a UTI, bro.
Yo, UTI, bro. Do you see this chick, bro? I gotta get her name down, yo. She got a so she went to the doctor, obviously, because she was feeling some shit in her stuff. And fuck, it doesn't have her name. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. She goes to the doctor and she has a UTI. She has a urinary tract infection. And they go in and they do ultrasound. Bro, they find a glass tumbler in her bladder. Like, and when I say glass tumbler, I mean like these cups we're using, bro, something slightly bigger than that. Like literally
in
a cup.
her bladder?
In her bladder. And that's what was causing the UTI. And we're going to get to how does a tumbler get into your bladder, you say?
Could you read that from my face?
Yo.
Because I'm doing all of the math here and nothing adds up. I tried to carry the one and it didn't add up.
Okay, so if old boy over there made it to second base, okay, this chick made it to about third by herself. So she was masturbating with the tumbler at one point in time, a long time ago, maybe even a year before, too, and left the cup in her shit. What in her? What do you call that?
Yeah, but does that go? I mean, like, but hold on.
Because I'm gonna get there.
Okay, so
so she left the cup in her pussy, and I'm trying to think of what the technical term is for it. Was that cervix? I don't even know. The cervix is past that. So whatever the fucking entry thing, I'm drawing blanks right now. Anyway. So she leaves the cup there, bro. Like forgets about it or can't get it out or whatever. So just leaves it.
Probably can't get it out.
Thinks that it'll just come out one day. Forgets. Your body, I guess, when you have a foreign object and it's in there, it starts to suck it in, like it absorbs it. So
that happens in your ass too.
Yes. So it's basically the same thing. That phenomenon. So her bladder, it basically absorbed up and went into her bladder and started causing all kinds of infections and all that shit. Like she's.
But does the inside of the vagina lead to the bladder? I thought they actually had like a pee
literally,
hole,
the tissue
right? Like,
just
right?
sucks it up, so it just goes into like the next, like basically the neighboring wall of the tissue.
I need like an anatomy physiology class right
story,
now,
bro. Dude, because it goes up and then basically her skin absorbs it. and so it can pass through that wall and go into the next one. There's a whole name for it with the phenomenon's called. I thought I had it on here, but I don't. Bro. So yeah, bro. So all that from, you know what kind of masturbation session you had to have to stick a whole cup in
and
there,
then
bro?
not go retrieve it,
and then not go. You just forget how you walk around with a whole cup in your vagina.
Oh my God, bro.
Yo, can you imagine trying to have sex with this chick?
You're like, what's that?
I can't follow that. How do you follow that, bro? A cup, bro? A whole cup. I can't. Yo, you got to go in there, literally dive head first and hope she feels it. You throw on a whole scuba mask and just throw your whole head in that bitch. You got to get friends over to hold your body and literally just ram you into her. And she might be like, oh, I forgot you was in there. How the fuck, bro? Yo, the cup is big, bro. I have the picture. I got to show you this shit. Look.
Dude, I've seen, I think I told you this story before, man, when I was in.
It's a cup, bro.
Wow, look at that. Yo, what I'm looking at people right now is it's just this green, like, glass or plastic cup.
Think of like a giant, bro. Yeah. It's, yo, think of remember those old Coca-Cola cups that you would get from like McDonald's or whatever?
Yes.
It looks like that, but it's bigger. Like it's bigger.
Like it's wide.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Yeah, it's way wider.
I think I told you this before on here. Maybe not. In being in the Marine Corps, our like doc that we had, he showed me X-rays of people that stuck like Lysol cans up their ass. The other one that I remember was a pair of tweezers inside of the penis. Like people do crazy shit.
Pair of tweezers.
A pair of tweezers in so through the hole. Which, bro, yeah.
That sounds painful.
Yeah, but people like that shit, bro.
Yeah, you know what, man? To each their own, bro. Just take it out.
Yeah, but what if you can't, right? Like if you stuck the Lysol tube in your ass and your ass goes. And it just sucks it up.
Honestly,
what
bro,
do you do, bro?
There's toys now that have the little stop gap for that same reason.
Or a handle on the outside.
Yeah, and you can get them bitches on Amazon. Like, there's no excuse now. Like, if you're embarrassed to go to a
Amazon
sex shop,
Basic.
Yeah, bro. I bet you Amazon Basic. Matter of fact, we go. What's that called? An anal plug?
Yo, did I tell you I'm buying a couch from Amazon Basic?
Stop. They sell couches? I mean, yo, Amazon taking over everything, bro. What? Anal plug on Amazon. Anal plug adult sensory toys is the first thing that comes up on Amazon. A lot of lube, 8-piece set, but they're on fucking Amazon, bro. There's a lot of lube on here. There's an uncomfortable amount of lube on here. But why they got shower heads that look like that? Imagine. Okay, anyway. Yo, why'd I look that up? And then one of those massage guns, the Theraguns comes up. If you were pounding yourself out with that, bro, you at an expert level, bro. Yo, they got fleshlights on Amazon. Get them. That's crazy. That's so fucking wild, bro.
Yeah, how we doing on time, bro?
Yo, we're 52 minutes in, man. We good, bro. We're doing great today, man. So I'm trying to think if I got. Yo, actually, I'm gonna give, because I'm so critical of these motherfuckers all the time. I'm gonna give a shout out to Major League Baseball, bro. They did.
Hit me with it. Yeah, they just started, man.
They did, man. They had opening week last week, and I'm, growing up a diehard baseball fan, man. It was like my favorite sport as a kid, and lately, the last few years, I would say I've lost so much interest in it, and I feel like it's poorly run. Anyway, ESPN, man, did something this weekend with their Sunday night baseball game. I was watching. It was the Yankees Red Sox, obviously, and they mic'd up one of the players, Kiki Hernandez. It was a Puerto Rican center field. And really charismatic guy, smart guy. And so they mic'd him up during the game. He's actually getting balls hit to him during the game. He's like interacting with the guys in the booth, the announcers of the game. He's like, so it was such a good It made me like the player, which I think MLB has a really big issue with creating stars or people even knowing who, like Mike Trout could walk past me and I wouldn't know who it is. I think Mike Trout is probably the biggest star in baseball right now, or whatever. I was like, I wouldn't know what he looks like if he walked past me in the mall. So I thought that was so cool. I'm like, yo, for the players, it's a win because you get your face out there, especially if you're a player like him who's like clearly like a really smart, well-spoken guy, fun, knew how to poke fun of himself, at his teammates, at the announcers. And it just made you want to watch it. Like the him talking, him getting a ball hit by him, and you can hear his perspective of like he's chasing it down and doing the stuff. Like I was like glued in while he had that, I'm like, yo, I can't turn away. Like, I can't walk away from this right now. And it turned into, I had the game on in the background to when he was mic'd up. I watched it the entire time.
Yeah.
And then I walked away from it when they stopped.
Yeah. The Yankees ended up actually scoring a run on a hit to him, which is cool because he's talking to the guys in the booth and he's like he doesn't say oh shit, but he's like oh here it comes,
yeah. And he makes a great throw, mic'd up and everything. Like he makes a good play, man. And I wanted to hate him because he's a Red Sox.
Right.
I couldn't. I was like, yo, I wanted to hate this guy. I couldn't hate him. He's a like
no, but
everything.
It was cool. He was talking about. I guess he knew one of the Yankee guys as well from the past,
from Little League.
Yeah. And he was like, oh man, that guy was awesome. Blah blah blah. So it took a little bit sort of out of the rivalry, and you just realize that these guys are just all like they don't, maybe at least to some level, they don't give a shit about the rivalry. Like they're just guys playing baseball.
These guys playing baseball. I think if you're like a lifer Yankee and a lifer Red Sox, then maybe it means a little more. And I think it meant a little more maybe 20 years ago. Like if you're a Jeter and like a Dustin Pedroia, I think it means more to those guys than it will to this generation. But yeah, man, I was like, you know what? Shout out to, and I don't know if that's ESPN. Obviously, baseball had to agree. But I was like, I'd watch a game just to see that.
Yeah.
So I figure out a way to rotate that between both teams and have them doing like that. I thought that shit was awesome, and it was the first time that I'd watched a baseball game during the regular season where they don't matter. Where I was like, oh, I can't look away. This is really cool to see right now. Like it was. So I was like, yo, shout out to baseball, man, for
that's
pulling
dope.
that off.
So I know that they were supposed to be doing, and maybe it's not this year, maybe it's next season, the whole timing for the pitching.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna test it this year
because I didn't see it. And then I was watching the time, and I was like, they're still on that like 3-hour mark. So
they sped it up a little bit. They do have a timer now, but it's long. So
but where do they put that? So I was looking for that to see if they would put it on stage. On stage,
they should, like a
TV.
Shot clock almost type thing. Right. They should. Yeah. That's a good question, actually.
What I did see was a lot of the, which I love pitching. And I love how the pitchers are able to maneuver the ball the way they do. And so they had some like when they would pitch, whereas in the past they would just sort of do like a replay and maybe they show like the line of maybe like how the curveball curved in or what have you. Now they're showing like 3D models.
Yeah,
or they're showing like from above, or that they'll show like where the from the batter's perspective of like what he's looking at, and then like from above and how he swung, and so those different angles that they're incorporating this year look to be fun, man.
Yeah, man, they did a good job, I think, with the presentation of that whole thing, and then doing the there's like a communication device now between the catchers and the pitchers.
Yes,
I thought that shit was cool too, man. I'm like, okay,
so the Yankees were using it. The Red Sox were not.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Red Sox were old school, giving the little finger, the finger signals. But the Yankees, if you guys didn't see this, they had this little device. The catcher has it like on his knee. He covers it with his glove, and then he presses some buttons, and then it communicates to the pitcher what he wants him to throw.
What he wants him to throw, like slider thing. So it gets rid of the whole sign stealing.
in English.
Yeah.
Like it just tells him slider inside, or he'll position himself or whatever. Because so much of baseball obviously is the pitching, and like you have whatever tenths of a second to react to that. Yeah.
But like. Yeah, man. I thought, I'm like, yo, good for baseball.
But could you not intercept that signal? I thought about that.
I think that's the next thing of it, right? Is that it becomes like football. I think then it has to be controlled by MLB, where like football, the headsets, like the headsets are controlled by the NFL, and then they turn off after a certain like X amount of seconds leading up to a play. That those things cut off. You can't communicate anymore.
Really?
There's all these rules in football, and then usually it used to be up to like the home team. They provided, and then you would always have these issues. Oddly enough, in Patriots Stadium, it would happen all the time where the away team lost signal. And then, so I think what you do is you have MLB sort of in charge of that, and then it's up to them. Like anything else, you have to make it secure somehow. Then, I mean, I'm sure some way, like someone's gonna figure it out, and then they're gonna have to figure out like how to sort of counteract it. Like it's not gonna be 100%, but it is a good, I thought, modern, I guess, twist on the whole sign stealing thing and throwing signals down. I did see that next year they're getting rid of the shift, which that should make it interesting as well.
The shift?
So when infielders move or outfielders, they move all the way to where a batter's going to go, they're going to get rid of that. You're not going to be able to do that anymore.
Oh, no, that's not good, man.
I think I like it because they're promoting an offensive game, so I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, part of the reason why baseball is so hard is because they've done their homework on what are your tendencies, and they just shift to where you hit most of the time.
Yeah.
You know what? You want to, like, don't hit there.
Yeah, but I think as a fan watching, like most people, they don't want to see defense. They want to see you score runs.
Yeah, I agree with
so
that.
I think it's gonna be like what football did with quarterbacks. We're like, you can't touch them, and then it'll be like people were like, yo, but what about the great Bears defenses and the Steelers and all that stuff? And we're like, no, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, put points up. Like and I could be like, think the
you have like 20 something runs a game.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. Or
that'll be crazy, bro.
like my curiosity is in because baseball does romanticize the whole strategy so much and those shifts. Like, what then comes out of that? Like as far as strategy goes, like do you find guys cheating that way? Like maybe on the cusp, and then they get beat because they're like sort of leaning. They're heavy footed on it. Like it's gonna be really cool to see. And I go, all right, at least they're making an attempt now at because baseball needed a jolt like so bad, man. Like it's so bad. Like I'd prefer to watch MLS over baseball for a long time now, and which is sad because I get watching English Premier League or like the Spanish soccer leagues, but when you're watching MLS over baseball, something's wrong.
I think they should just bring back steroids. Don't test anymore.
1,000% for that, bro. Just bring back steroids. Let everybody take them or not take them, like your choice.
Yep.
Don't test. It'll be awesome, bro. Dude, the Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire years were fantastic. Yo, that was must-watch TV every time they took in that bet that year. Yep. Remember that, man? That was so crazy.
That home run race, and then there was a few other guys who was smacking home runs too.
Barry Bonds, man.
Yeah,
he can't get in, right? Or Barry still has a shot. I know. A-Rod can't, right? And Clemens can't anymore. Or no, not A-Rod. Clemens and fuck, maybe it is Bonds. Clemens, they can't get in anymore. They ran out of like opportunities to get into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Oh, so they just missed out their opportunity.
Whatever, they get X amount of years to get voted in. If you're not, then you never get brought up again or whatever. But yeah, like fucking Barry Bonds, bro. You get like,
yeah. How do you not put that guy?
How do you not put that guy in, bro? Him, like Griffey never got pegged for juicing, right? No, not Griffey. Okay, yeah. So
I think isn't he in?
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's
smoothest swing in the history of baseball, bro. Yeah. Just from that alone, like even if he did nothing in his career, you just take a snapshot of that guy's baseball swing and you go, yeah, that's why he's in all. Like he had the prettiest swing in the history of baseball, man. That guy is.
All right, man. What else you got?
Dude, I got you. You seen the lady who won the lottery, bro? In I think it's California. Yeah, dude. This lady wins $10 million lottery off of one of those vending machines in the store. What's crazy is how she won that is that she was at the machine. Some guy walks by, bumps into her. She hits the wrong option. He walks off. She goes like, yo, this guy was an asshole. He didn't apologize.
Hold on. The option on what?
So you ever seen the vending machines they have here like at Publix that sell lottery tickets?
No.
Oh, so we have there's like vending machines, and you stick in money, like, and then you make a select, you press a button, and you get that lottery ticket,
and it just falls down,
and it just falls. Yeah, it just gives you disperses whatever that one. Well, when he hit her, she hit the wrong button, but the button that she got, the ticket that she got, is the one that won her the 10 mil. So the guy hits her, keeps going. She goes like, yo, doesn't apologize, doesn't think. I'm like, yo, what the hell? Like, she's pissed off because she got the wrong ticket.
Right.
She says she scratches it like in the car on her way home, and she has to like pull over because she's like, no, wait. Like, and looks at it and then goes onto the website on her phone, and it's like, the website's like, no, you won 10 mil. And she's like, no fucking way. But all because this guy shoved her into the machine and keeps going.
Dude, like, is that kind of shit like, like, is that some like miraculous type shit? Like, are you supposed to win that? Were you supposed to be there? Was that guy supposed to be there pushing you into that?
Some will say
that's the kind of shit that you look at and you go, damn, man. Now, I guess it would depend on a number of factors, right? Like what does she end up doing with it? Or did her and her family just really need this break, right? Yeah. Like, who knows why, man.
My counter to that is always like, yo, the 1,000 other people got shoved that day and did it.
Yeah, that's true.
So for the miracles, like, I played a numbers game, bro.
Like, bitch, I got spit on today.
I ain't win shit.
Where's my 10 mil?
Yeah, I didn't win. And I mean, I do have a odd like belief in sort of I don't even know what you would call it, man. Is it faith? Is it like but I do have this like, yo, man, certain things are just kind of meant to happen and they happen. I do have this like weird, and I don't know, I wouldn't even know how to justify it or explain it, but I do like have this belief that like, yo, sometimes shit is just meant to happen. And then the reasonable person in me always kicks in and goes, yo, the numbers don't lie. Like, again, 1,000 people probably that day the same thing happened to.
Yeah,
they didn't win,
that's true.
And she's still like the 0.0001% who wound up, like. And to me, like, there's always a story for anything. Like, there's always a person who's like, yo, I wasn't even gonna stop and buy the ticket, but I did. Something told me I did. But I'm like, yeah, something told you to buy it every other time you bought it too, and you didn't win. You know, like, it's always that sort of like thing.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
I just thought that was wild, bro. You mean you get shut? Like, yo, do you have to break that person off, bro?
Well, no.
Hell no, right?
He pissed me off.
Yeah, he pissed. Hire that hitman.
And that dude probably didn't even, you know, if he didn't say anything, he probably was like in a rush to go somewhere
realize what he
didn't
did.
even, yeah.
You just
or at
bumped her
least to what extent, right?
bumped her and kept going, man. Like, that shit's crazy, bro. So crazy, man.
All right, man. Anything else?
No, man. I think I don't have anything that we can. Oh, actually, nah. Fuck it. We got to do this one, bro. Real quick.
Do it.
Autonomous car in San Francisco, bro. A Chevy Bolt. So that it's an autonomous vehicle, and they're just driving around the city.
The Volt is the electric car joint, yeah.
And then these things they have like cameras all over, and they're autonomous. They're like dropping off, like city workers can use them and stuff. Like they're meant for that. But they're piloting this in a lot of cities right now. And I know Tesla, like you can actually sign up for a pilot of this as well. What Tesla's doing in certain cities, bro, you go to work, if you sign up, your car just goes off and picks people up and drops them off and does this whole thing, and then it'll be back to your office to pick you up at the end of your workday. So you can make money off your Tesla.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, dude.
Where's this? In California?
So I think California, certain cities are that have allowed it because a lot of cities aren't allowing it.
Right.
So Tesla has signed agreements with certain cities, but Chevy or GM is doing this in San Francisco. And the people that it's taking around are like city workers. Okay. So it's like dropping off certain city workers. I don't know here if you next to your house, not too far from in Lake Nona.
Yep.
There's a car there that you can take. It's autonomous. It'll drop you off to any restaurant and stuff around there. It'll do stuff and it'll go back. It's like in a specific neighborhood there. Yeah, if you've never gone, it's called Beep. It's pretty cool, man. You guys see
BEEP?
BEEP, yeah, Beep. It's a company called Beep. Beep is actually doing a lot of theirs like in hospital campuses and stuff. So they'll take you from like one building to the next and all that. But in Lake Nona here, you can actually take a Beep to like there's a restaurant there that picks you up if you're hammered and it drops you off in your house if you live like nearby or whatever. And then so it's almost like a bus where it makes certain stops and stuff. Like it's really cool.
Do you pay? I'm assuming you pay.
I think right now you don't because they're like testing it out, and so the owner of it pays. So like whatever, probably that HOA in that community's paying for it.
Okay, like that makes sense.
So anyway, so this Chevy Bolt gets pulled over by the cops, and it looks like they pulled it over initially because the lights aren't working, and so it pulls over the car stops.
So the car stops for the cop.
Yeah, it stops, so it knows.
So is there somebody? Damn, fuck! I got so many questions. Right?
No,
like,
it's smart enough to know.
It just knows.
Yeah, dude. So the cop.
I wonder if it's based on is it based on the lights? Is it based on?
It knows how to read like the certain lights that are coming at it, and there's an agreement with the city, and they've even like the cops have a certain number that they're supposed to call, like if there's an issue with the car, stuff like that. Like so, they're partnering with the city too.
Yep.
And they've trained cops like, hey, here's how you treat it. Here's how the car will respond.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So the cop pulls it over, bro. He goes up to the window of the car, and the car takes off.
You see, that's somebody who has the fucking joystick. Yeah. He's like, watch this, bitch. Yeah. That's the fucker that pulled me over last week.
It's ironic, bro. I was like, it's a Chevy Bolt. And it bolts it. But the dope part is that if you watch the video, of course, it's like the clickbait. The car takes off, but then it pulls in, like it takes off and then pulls over a little further up. The car determined that where it got pulled over wasn't safe. So it goes up and it pulls over and then it turns on hazards. So then the next time the cops go up to it, it never takes off.
Right.
Like it actually stays. And then GM sort of releases a statement like, no, the car did what it was supposed to. It's trying to find a safe place to pull over.
Right.
This is like in the, whatever.
Because, dude, there are times when I've gotten pulled over and I'm like, really, bro? Here?
Like here? Yeah, I've done that too, man. Where I'm like, bro, I've taken long ones. And the guy was furious when he got over. And I go, bro, where was I? Like, it was literally a highway and then brick wall.
Right. There's no shoulder.
Yeah, there's no shoulder, bro. And he's like, I've been thinking for 2 miles or whatever it was. I'm like, yeah, bro, there's a whole brick wall next to us, bro. Like, I wait. I'm like, next time you can be in the middle of the road, like, fuck it, like if that's how you're gonna be, kind of thing. But yeah, I just thought that shit was funny as how I just took off, and the video's hilarious because of course someone has it on video.
That would be dope if somebody was in the car, like a passenger.
Well, they're looking behind and thing. You see the two cops, and then the second time they pull it over, his other partner, and they're like creepily looking at it, like what and they have to know. I mean, the car is obviously an autonomous car. Like there's cameras on top of it everywhere. There's all kinds of shit. Like it was obviously.
That's what I'm saying, so man. It's like somebody with a joystick is fucking driving.
Oh, that shit was so funny though, man. I was like, that's how ironic is that the Chevy bolted on the cop.
I think it's a Volt, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think they call this one a. Is it? Yeah, you might be right. It is a Volt, but I think. Oh, why is the name here something Bolt?
Maybe it is Bolt.
Yeah, it says Chevy Bolt. It says GM Cruise converted Chevy Bolts.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
Unless that's a typo, and I just jumped on the typo. You could be right because it is a Volt.
It's a good story.
It's a good story either way. I'm sticking with it.
All right, bro. Tell them where they can find us.
If you're not already following us, man, at the Carbon Football Podcast on IG, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, at Carbon Football Podcast on TikTok, and then anywhere where you listen to your favorite streaming platforms, man. We're on Amazon Music, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. I think that's it already. Ghana, Geo7, Pocket Cast, Podchaser. Tune in, all of it. So go find us, man. If you're not if we're not on something you listen to, hit us up. But I seriously doubt it. That just means you need to change your platform.
Absolutely. And yo, check out this drink. This shit hits. And as always, we appreciate you guys, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.